Hello students, till the last time we have dealt with rate of radioactive disintegration and the problems that were based on that law. Today we will be discussing with different radioactive series. Now, as we know that by the radioactive disintegration, an unstable radioactive nuclei tries to be stable, and this process occurs by having the value of N by P ratio that is required for stability. But this is not a single step process. Like if I start with a radioactive element and if it emits alpha or a beta particle, then it will not show that by the emission of one alpha or one beta particle, it will become stable. There may be chances that the formed daughter nuclei will also possess radioactivity. Such as if I talk about uranium, then the symbol of uranium is U and the nature of this uranium is radioactive. Then when it goes for the emission of one alpha particle, then by the emission of one alpha particle, it is converted into the nuclei of thorium with the symbol TH. Here, the nature of this thorium is again radioactive and it is again not a stable nuclei. So this thorium, this formed thorium will further emit some radiation from it, and this process will continue till the time when it is converted into a stable nuclei. And here the complete chain of such elements which we are starting from a radioactive nuclei and which is going to be end at a stable nuclei is termed as radioactive series. And here we will be talking about different type of radioactive series. Basically, all the radioactive series are categorized in 4 categories. So there are total 4 types of radioactive series. The very first type of radioactive series is termed as thorium series. The name thorium is given to this series since it starts from the radioactive nuclei thorium with the atomic number 90 and mass number 232, and this series ends at a stable isotope of lead with the atomic number 82 and the mass number of this stable isotope of lead is 208. Now this thorium series is also termed as Foran series. The reason being, if I divide the atomic mass of each element or each nuclei which is coming in this radioactive series, then by dividing the atomic mass of each member of this series by 4, we will be getting 0 remainder. That is why this series is also termed as Foran series. If I talk about the next radioactive series, then this series is commonly known as Neptunium series. Now as expected, the name is Neptunium, so it should be started from the element Neptunium. But apart from this, it starts from the element plutonium with the symbol Pu, and the atomic number for this is 94 with the mass number 241. This Neptunium series, since it starts from plutonium, still it is termed as Neptunium series because Neptunium, it is the only member of this radioactive series which has a long life. All the another members of this series are having very short time period. They are quite unstable. That is why this series is named after the member of this series which has a quite long life as compared to another members. And this is termed as Neptunium series. Now if we start from Neptunium, then this series ends at the stable isotope of bismuth with the atomic number 83 and mass number 209. Now here we can see if we divide this 209 by 4, we will be getting value 1 as the remainder. That is why the another name for this series can be given as 4n plus 1 series. Now if we talk about the third series, then this third series starts from the radioactive isotope of uranium, that is 92-238, and since it starts from uranium, that is why the name is given as uranium series. Now this uranium series again ends at the stable isotope of lead with the mass number 206, and since it is not completely divisible by 4, we get 2 as the remainder when we divide the atomic mass of this member by 4. So that is why this series is termed as 4n plus 2. And the last series of this radioactivity is termed as actinium series. Now, same like Neptunium series, this series again do not start from actinium. It starts from the radioactive isotope of uranium with a mass number 235. Still, it is termed as actinium series. The reason is the parent element of this series, that is uranium-235, initially it was considered to be an isotope of actinium, and since in initial it was considered as the isotope of actinium, that is why the name inconventionally we use as actinium series. Now this actinium series ends at the stable isotope of lead with a mass number 207. And here it's clear that since the mass number 207 is not completely divisible by 4, we will be getting 3 as the remainder. That is why the series is termed as 4n plus 3 series. So this is about these 4 radioactive series. Now one thing we can note from these series, like if I talk about the very first series, that is thorium series, the third one uranium series, or the fourth one actinium series. Here we can see that all these 3 series ends at the stable isotope of lead except the one that is neptunium series. So that is quite specific about these series, that in all the series the last product is the stable isotope of lead except the neptunium series, that is also termed as 4n plus 1 series. The second most important thing about these series is the discovery of noble gas radon. If we study the pattern of radioactive disintegration for these series, then it is not so that we have started with this thorium and by the integration we are finally getting lead in a single step. This happens by the continuous disintegration of alpha, beta or gamma particles from this thorium. And if we study the pattern of radioactive disintegration, here we will be finding the presence of noble gas radon, and that is why the discovery of noble gas radon is considered as the result of the study of these radioactive series. So that is about the second specific point. Now this is about the radioactive disintegration series. Next time we will be starting with a different nuclear reaction.